So at this point, we have a networking break, so hopefully you can, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have a networking break. We have Ian Nate, and a very exciting thing that we've talked about for a long time, which is user forums. You all have a lot of knowledge from actually using Moab in the field, and we want to make sure there's an easy way for you to share that knowledge with your peers. So even better than a networking break, we have the opportunity to talk about how you can network continuously, not just at Moabcon. So with that, I'll turn the time over to Ian Nate and also Chris Hess.
All right, thanks, Chad. Hello, Moabcon. Good news is we won't take much of your time, so you'll get that networking break pretty quick. My name's Ian Nate. I'm the online marketing manager at Adaptive Computing. This is Chris Hess. He's the sales operations manager at Adaptive Computing. Hi, guys. We are both graduates of Adaptive Computing's IT program. Normally, they keep us behind the scenes. You'll usually see me behind the camera. Chris, you may not see at all.
I'm not here. I'm not here.
Now, Chris is kind of our authentication guru. Also, he's behind such things as the support portal. So I will refer to it as Chris's support portal, but really it's Adaptive's, right?
No, sure, whatever.
Great. All right. So they kind of keep us behind the scenes, and fortunately for you, I hope, they didn't check our slides. So we're going to have a little bit of fun, and we'll keep this lighthearted, and hopefully we won't be rebuked too bad after we step off the stage. So
courtesy laughs, if necessary, are appropriate.
You will find these jokes funny. All right. Jedi mind trick. So we do things like we put pictures of the Starship Enterprise on our slides. Now, I did this for a couple reasons. Every time I think of a portal, I think of Star Trek. I'm a nerd, and I know, no offense, many of you are nerds too. So the great thing is, not only can I thank Intel for being our diamond sponsor at Moabcon, which is fantastic in and of itself, even better than being our diamond sponsor at Moabcon, Intel was innovative and forward-thinking in recreating the Starship Enterprise bridge at Supercomputing 2012. Now, for myself, obviously this is a childhood dream. For some of you also, it's an adulthood dream to sit on the Starship Enterprise and do the point from the bridge. Exactly, right. So every time I think of a portal, I think of Star Trek. I also think of my favorite quote from Star Trek. Make it show, #1.
Not sure that's the right Star Trek.
Yeah, that's true. And it did kind of sound like Sean Connery. So how about beam me up, Scotty? That's better. I think I got it right. Okay, great. So again, thank you, Intel, for recreating that. Absolutely fantastic. So we're going to talk about Adaptive's community portal. Chris and I are in cahoots working on this community portal. And really, the first question we kind of asked ourselves is, why? Why do we want to do a community portal? Well, you asked for it. In fact, specifically, some of you asked for it. So
I think that's enough. Let's just demo it and be done.
Well, general outlining rules state you really should have 2 bullets per point. So you also have valuable knowledge, of course. Some of you use Moab just as much or more than some of us do. And you use it in your own unique cases, and so you do generally have very specialized knowledge. We also, we really want there to be this essence of community support because you have this individualized knowledge. You may know things that other people may not know. Troy Bear may have some great use cases. He may have some scripts. So these are all things that can help out the community in general. And we also kind of wanted it to be a quick reference. So to kind of act as an FAQ, to be a place that you can go and quickly search for answers or ask quick questions, that maybe some of your peers can answer. So the implementation of the website, it is part of our existing, or the questions and answers is part of our existing website. So it is an infrastructure that's fully integrated. We're conducting the community portal. We're kicking it off as a private beta. It's going to be available here in just a couple of days. So hopefully by the time you get back to your offices, you can start firing questions away. And then, Chris, why don't you, since you're the authentication guru, why don't you tell us about the single sign-on?
So it just signs into the website with the same access they're using to get into our current support portal or to access downloads. So it's right there, and if you have an account, you should be all set. So
Yeah, so nothing further needed. So if you have issues, you can report them to customercare@adaptivecomputing.com. Realistically, you can email anybody in the company. It'll probably get to us, but good procedure, customercare@adaptivecomputing.com. So great. So the population of this, we really see kind of it's multifaceted, right? We really want you guys to use this freely. Use it as much as you like. Don't use it as little as you like. Use it as much as you like. So you want that extra headroom, not the, okay. Broach all topics. We're not really limiting, what you can ask on the forum. We do, ask that you categorize things and tag things appropriately, but really broach all topics, which means, yeah, you can ask about your dog.
can I ask about that dog? Whose dog is that?
That's my dog. He's a superhero. His name is Archie. And yeah, that's my dog. Now, we have a lot of dog people at Adaptive, so you can ask about dogs, but you may get snippy comments from cat people, so be prepared. You may still need to use appropriate channels. There's going to be a time and a place for things, so you may be directed to the support portal if obviously you have an in-depth issue that Adaptive engineers need to take a look at. So, Chris's support portal. Adaptive employee answers, we're also going to be answering this. So it's not going to be, hey, you guys use this, it's yours. We really are going to be an integral part of that. So, and it's going to span, hopefully across not only our support department, you'll get some great answers from marketing. You'll also hopefully get some engineer interaction as well. So, and they'll be easy to denote because they will have a blue background. So you'll know that, hey, that person is an Adaptive employee. As far as moderation, we really want it to be an open door policy. We don't want to moderate the forums. We're not going to require pre-approval. We're not going to check your posts before they go out. We do kind of have to reserve the right to moderate after the fact, just in case. And we're allowing you to edit and delete your own answers and questions. And why is that, Chris?
I know you've all had opportunities on your phone when you're typing a message and autocorrect says something that you really are embarrassed about. So if you post something on there, we wanted the ability for you to make edits to it or delete it if necessary. So. Excellent.
So we don't fall victim to autocorrect. All right. And standard forum rules apply. We didn't write forum rules, and we don't want to. So. All right. So really this brings up a public service announcement that we would like to give to you. Now, we're not targeting anybody by this, but we just feel like, as part of an online community, we really need to give you this PSA. Please don't fall victim to or succumb to the temptation of cyberbullying, right? Because really, system admins have feelings too. So, Troy Bear has feelings. I know this. And gingers do have souls. If for those of you who want to get that reference. All right. So we've also put in a back-end swear jar, okay, for the forums. We haven't implemented it yet, and we don't necessarily want to implement it. But this would come in the form of a PayPal donation for any swearing. Again, autocorrect mistakes, you can catch those. All proceeds from the swear jar, if implemented, would go to victims of cyberbullying.
Ian's pocket.
That's TBD. So, all right, moving on. So really, at this point, we're kind of at the live demonstration point, which is really Chris. I'm more the mouth, he's the brain. So I'm going to turn it over to Chris, and he's going to give you a live demonstration of the user forums.
All right, well, hopefully we're still authenticated here. Otherwise, this might take us a second. I'm not sure who I am. Demo from a couple different browsers so we can show different users. So all right, so Ian, while we're doing this, you're going to play the role of Cosmo Kramer. Think you can handle that?
Giddy up.
All right. So Ian, you have a question. What's your question here?
I'll come up with something. We had Torque Fest yesterday, and so I found an issue with Torque. I want to know where I should go to post that, Chris, because I don't know.
Sorry, my answers are still here. And I'm locked in as you. That's cool. All right. I didn't share it with you.
Darn. You're going to have to type it.
All right, we're going to type it. Okay, so how do you post a question? If I can type. That was your question, right?
Right. That is correct.
We're going to go short term here.
And you'll notice we have categories there at the bottom, so you can categorize your questions.
We also have the ability, if you wanted, to use a little editor here. And all right. So Ian posts, Cosmo posts his question here. You can see, and now the question is out there, and we can get an answer. Now we had the demo yesterday, our torque stuff. Does anybody in the audience know where they can post information or fixes for torque or issues? Anyone?
I know some of you were at Torque Fest. I saw your faces. Anybody? Shout it out. There it is.
All right.
All right. And that man has an
Perfect.
Adaptee Award. Give him an Adaptee Award. All right.
All right. So I don't have the GitHub URL memorized, but we can see the question here. And I didn't catch who it was, but our answer here is going to come from Kramer's good friend George Costanza. And we're just going to pretend that I put the GitHub URL in there because I don't know what it is.
So there is an answer.
So there's an answer. And does this answer, is it correct? Is it going to help you out there, Ian?
It's not incorrect, but I'm Kramer, right? I need more steps.
So as we interact with the questions, you can vote the answers up and down. So we can say, hey, that's a good answer. That will help me out. In addition, you received an email to your email account that said, hey, there's an answer on your question, and it lists the answer there for you.
Yeah, you bet.
Great. Right. The other way that we're going to demonstrate, it didn't fully answer your question, though. You're still confused, right?
Yeah, I'm still a little confused. I'm Kramer.
So we have good friend Jerry Seinfeld here, and he works for Adaptive Computing. And he sees that there's an answer, but it's not real specific. So he comes in and gives a really detailed answer. And I had real great code with pictures and everything, but you'll just have to believe me. And he posts an answer there. So Jerry, you'll see Jerry's answer is blue. Blue background here. If we jump back to Cosmo. Cosmo, do you like that more specific answer?
Absolutely. I think that's the accepted answer, Chris.
And he can accept that.
Yo ma.
You'll see recent questions here on the side. If we go back to the questions section here, you'll see it has a green check mark because it's answered. So questions can also be voted up and down to kind of bring the more important questions to the top. It's fairly intuitive, and I think you guys will get it. It is, as we mentioned, in beta. In fact, we were hoping to have it live this morning, and when I moved it to our live server yesterday, it kind of blew up. So we've got a few bugs to fix out, but we're hoping should be available the next couple of days.
Yep. Great. Thanks, Chris. All right, so we'll just about have you on your way. Bam. All right. Okay, so what do we see the future, the near future with our website and our community forums? We just kind of wanted to go over a few things that are coming in the very near term. Currently, there is a point system on the user forums, and so as you submit questions and answer questions and your questions are voted up or down, there is a point system. What we'd like to do is tie that point system into badges. And so we'd kind of like to gamify it a little bit. have a little bit of fun with it, have maybe a senior HPC admin, maybe a God mode. We haven't decided yet, but we would like to kind of gamify that a little bit. We're toying with the idea of having it be Google searchable. Right now it's a private beta, so it won't be available from a search page, but depending on how the beta goes, we may open that up to a Google search. We are currently working on a knowledge base. The great thing is all of you can help. With the questions that you submit, and obviously some of the answers that you submitted as well, you can kind of help us populate the knowledge base, which will help everyone going forward. Documentation commenting coming from engineering is, I believe, very close to being rolled out. The great thing about it is this allows you to comment directly on the documentation. So if you've run into specific issues on the documentation, you have best practices you want to use, you can actually comment directly on specific pages. And right now we're working to improve the download pages and the download process. We're trying to make it a little more simplified, a little bit more elegant, look prettier, and include things like like an MD5 hash to kind of alleviate download errors and that type of thing. Improve search. This is something Chris and I have been working on for some time, and it has constantly improved, which is a good thing, but our site is becoming more and more searchable. And lastly, just kind of a general facelift. Nothing too extreme, nothing hopefully too noticeable, but we'd like to have, there's going to be, you'll notice some general facelift, maybe some Botox here and there on the website. So social media. Adaptive is social, if some of you haven't noticed. I believe Rich has noticed. Some of the other attendees have noticed as well. We've really, in the last 6 months or so, really kind of become a lot more social. So we have accounts across most of the major social media platforms. We'd really like you to join us. We feel like we have some good content. We have a full staff of people, subject matter experts, and me, who blog for the company. And so some of the blogs are great. I mean, they come from our architects, our engineers, some of our executives at times. And so really a great blog, and that's adaptivecomputing.com/blog. I happened to write a great blog post yesterday a little blog post about TorqueFest. So feel free to check that out. And then also, we are listening.
It's a little creepy there, Ian.
I meant in the context of social media. We're listening to what you say. So, if you post something to us or kind of in our general direction, we'd like to kind of get some conversations started there. So, also tweet about Moabcon. We're using hashtag Moabcon 2013. Some of us have already been tweeting. We have a couple of people who are going to all the sessions and kind of tweeting about them. So use hashtag Moabcon 2013 and join us on Twitter with the handle there at AdaptiveMoab. So now, if you want to join our other social channels, we have buttons at the bottom of the website, and there's kind of no excuse for not finding them because they're on just about every page. So we made that easy for you. All right, any questions? Too bad, because we're going to make you post them on the questions and answer site. I'm just kidding. We'll take some questions if you have them. So,
All right, well, we'll thank Ian and Chris.
All right, thank you.